Greetings, Scrapazoids. How's everybody doing? Welcome in, Scrappers, Scrapettes, and everybody else. Lost my train of thought because I was trying to set up the other phone. So, it's 45 degrees out right now, and they said coming in tomorrow, Sunday into Monday, we are going to get a blizzard like we haven't had since 2013. Stores are an absolute zoo. Crazy out there today. Now, I did my little bit of shopping yesterday. I just got back, went out and did some errands, got my shipping down to the UPS store and such. Alright, we just get repositioned here just a little bit. So, game plan is to very specifically work on the higher grade material, servers and switches and things like that. If we get the snow they say we're going to get, I won't be able to get this material out till probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. I am in Stratford, Connecticut, Drumhead. Welcome in. I just got the other phone up, so if I missed you come in, I'm sorry. Apologize. So, yeah, you know, this is usually what happens, though. They scare the bejabbers out of us, and then we don't get anything. So, that would be nice. I really wouldn't complain. Yeah. Just gonna grab in some tools and just go at it here. Thing is, it's not even cold outside. It's warm. So I was outside trying to get everything ready for the storm. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. Just curious about the snow because I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yeah, I haven't watched the most recent update. I watched it about 11 o'clock this morning. It seems to be a coastal storm. They're talking about New Jersey, New York, Long Island, the Connecticut shore where I live, Fairfield County, Connecticut, and up into Hartford, New Haven County. So we will see what happens. Boy, Kalamazoo, Michigan, you guys got hit with a lot of lake effect snow, huh? Our friend Scrooge McDuckin is down in that area, and boy, it's been quite the year for the weather, guys, eh? It really has been quite the year. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome in. I try to keep the video under an hour so that I can repost it. I post it on this channel and my tuber channel. You know what that is. Same title. And I like to teach about e-scrapping. I like to show people what's in different electrical components. And I also resell a lot of the e-scrap that I process. I have a board buyer. I actually have a couple of board buyers. But smaller things that I can fit into a box and ship, I do make available to my subscribers. And there's something on my profile page to tell you where those are. But you know, e-scraps, it's hard to get. Right now we're in the middle of the winter. Good luck going out and scrapping, huh? Boy, I watch some of these people that they go, they're at it no matter what. God bless them. I had a pretty good stockpile, so it wasn't too bad for me. Okay, this is a switch. Switches are usually used in telecom equipment, and they're mini computers. Most of the times we'll get some kind of, oops, come back here. We'll get some kind of a telecom board inside. I did get that Cisco server apart the other night. There was a set of screws. I probably will do another one and I'll show you. It was one set of screws. There was a power bar, and then there were 3 screws So when I took those out, I was able to lift off that power bar, and then the board slid completely free after I fiddled around with it on TV for a while. I got bored with it. So that was what happened there. But I did manage to get that apart, but I had already gone over my, I had already gone over the hour, and I couldn't repost the video at that point. So some things you can take off these that are good for recovery. Don't depopulate the chips on the boards, but there are some things you can take without getting yourself into hot water, so to speak. These are gold banded crystal oscillators. They are very good for silver recovery. Trinity Gold had a very nice piece showing silver recovery, and I had heard pros and cons about it, but now I hear that they are pretty good, so I personally I don't hold recovery or silver recovery. I don't do that because I think it's just not for me. Hello, Dark Knight, welcome in. For me, no, it's not so much. I save up the materials and sell it to people who are comfortable doing that. They have the laboratories, they have the equipment, things like that. This one had a lot of them on it. Wow. I've got a pretty good jar full. I never take off enough that I'm going to get my board buyer upset. That's setting your board buyer is a really bad idea. So those are these. There's another one here on this card, and just put those over there. Tantalum capacitors are really good to get for silver and gold recovery, and now people are actually saying MOSFETs as well. I think this week is going to be a SHIT show. Trouble with all this tariff stuff, everything's happening on the weekend, so nobody can get a handle on what to expect for next week. I think it's going to hit the precious metals market. I think people are just going to fly back into gold and silver. And, I don't want to get into politics on the channel. I try to avoid them. Where do you buy your scraps, and do you make a profit? Fish on. Fish on. I'd love to go fishing, be ice fishing right about now. I've been doing this for a few years. Most of my e-scrap I get from schools. I do run a band instrument service, and they know me, so I don't have too much trouble getting computers. Just because I've been doing this as long as I can. Just a lot of word of mouth and stuff. It's really more of a hobby for me than anything else. It's just taken off into a monstrosity this year. You can make money at this if you can get the scrap without having to pay for it. You can make money at this if you can get the scrap and know what's inside of it before you pay top dollar for it. So it's definitely profitable. I think the profit is probably in refining. But I'm going to tell you though, it's not a get rich quick scheme by any stretch of the imagination. It's hard work. It's messy. Your house is always full of computer crap and everything else, and it's not fun. So this is just some kind of a daughter card or a helper card or something along those lines. I don't know what it actually is. What I do know is it has very good gold pins. Now, those of you who follow me on a regular basis, by the way, guys, please don't forget to double tap. I could use those likes. It helps the algorithm of the channel a whole bunch. Just tap on the screen twice, and I'd really appreciate that. So this is an example of something that we call a peripheral board. Peripherals are anything that's not a motherboard. They have to have some chips and visible gold. And this one does. It's a good peripheral board. I do something called What's in the Box, and I make boxes of e-scrap up, and I set them up for sale. It's usually on my profile page, what I have available and where it is. I am working on a TikTok shop. I just like everything else, I will get there. So I have a box that's in the works. I had it up on the channel a couple days ago. I think it's titled What's in the Box, and it will show you. I'm going to add that into the box. Really nice gold pins here. You'll get gold here, gold bonding wire around here, and gold recovery in here. So if you're into gold refining, those are good things, right? Hi, Louis. How are you today? Like I said, anything that's small enough that I can ship it to you without you having to pay a fortune for it, I usually do. Done pretty well with those. I fill up a priority flat rate box, and when it's full, I put it up and off it goes. It could be brass. Always check, guys. It looks brass. It looks brassy. All I do is gotta find. All I have to do is find where my magnet got itself stuck to. I'll check that out. I'll check that out after. I think you're gonna see copper, especially, go absolutely bananas. Hello, Mr. Long. Welcome in. Thank you for the gifter. You got the gifter badge. Thank you for whatever you sent. I didn't see it go by, but thank you, of course. Louis, did your box arrive yet? I don't know how long it's going to take to get from point A to point B. If you didn't get it today, you probably will get it Monday, weather permitting, I would think. There's a couple of us who sell boxes of e-scrap here on the channel, on TikTok. Scrooge McDuckin, Proud to be Country. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi sells boxes as well. And what we do is we put things in for the home gamer. You know, things that a home gamer could refine and get the gold pins out of and things like that. Without having to go take apart scrap. Like, I know a couple of my subscribers are really in very rural areas. I got one sub who's from Louisiana. He can't, where he is, he's not able to procure any e-scrap whatsoever. And so he buys a lot of boxes from me. I always fill them up good for him. Excited, can't wait. Yeah, you can follow the tracking. I know it's been shipped. You should be able to follow the tracking without any problem. Any concern though, and anything not right, you give me a holler. I'm not really worried. I know it's going to be fine, but just in case. These connector pins back here that have gold in them are good for gold recovery. I've got to take all these off before I can pull the board free. It's screwed in here. And that's going to be just a wee bit fiddly and tedious, but yeah, you definitely want to save the gold pins. I probably have a drill bit, and I probably could just do them that way, but I don't want to. I think what I'm going to do is I'll finish this one up off camera, only because it's super easy. There's really not a big deal to it. There's a power supply under here. I'll take that out. But this is kind of a tedious thing. So looking at the board itself, this is a very good example of a telecom board. It's coming out of something that's telecom equipment. We know that already. There's all kinds of telecom jacks in the back here, in the back. And it's very well populated with chips. So this is if there was a lot of junk on it, or a lot of dead space, or not a good number of chips, we wouldn't be able to get telecom high for this. And so this would be an example of a telecom high grade board. Yeah, it's a good board. This is a Dallas switch. It's probably got copper. These are IC chips. Legs, I think, are copper on those. Gold pins, gold pins, gold pins. Lots of ceramics. This is all gold bonding wire around here. And there's plenty of videos about how to recover the gold. As I said, that is not my bailiwick. It's not my comfort zone. So all I have to do here is I just have to get these screws all out, and then that board will slide forward. I'll be able to just go ahead and put it in the box. But that's kind of tedious. I really don't want to sit here and fiddle with it. All right. I usually am able to get through about two devices. As with TikTok, you get an hour, and if you go over your hour, you can't repost your live video. kind of scrap stuff that's kind of the same, so I can try to fill up a box to ship out to my buyer. So like right now I'm working on, hi from New Zealand, welcome in. Kia ora, nice to meet you. Hello David Robinson. I see a lot of new names in the chat, and there's Mia Rossi just came in. Mia was my very first subscriber. How are you, Mia? Yeah, don't forget to hit those likes, guys. It helps a whole bunch, okay? What it does is it helps with the algorithm so that they know the live is getting a lot of views. And it really helps me when the search engines, when people are looking for computer scrapping or e-waste sorting or any of the other things that I'm into. Well, let's see, what else am I up to? Slowly getting the house put back together. Good, I'm glad to hear that. How many times can I it was on somebody's TikTok shop, not that I would have bought such a thing. It was like, not to be fresh, it was like an automatic finger. And this automatic finger would tap your phone and tap likes for you. Now that can't be very fair, but I swear to God, there is such a device out there in the TikTok nation. I wouldn't lie to you about that. This is just an old electrical box I've got over here to the left. I've got all my screws in it. Keep going, Logan. Give yourself blisters on your fingers. I made Scrapping Irish laugh. I said that the other day. She was like, see, I'm going to get those fingers going. And I said, I can't. I've got blisters. He was cracking up. But, it helps with, rankings and search engines. If you don't get any likes and you're on for hours on end, you're not going to... your channel's not going to do so great. This was another loose board that just came off. It's got to go into another box. This is a low-grade peripheral board. Peripheral boards have visible gold, and it just depends what they have on them for chips. And this is very low populated, but it does have gold on it. So that's a peripheral low-grade board. Somebody yesterday asked about these Mylars and these tapes. If they're good for gold recovery, yes they are. You want to definitely save those. That's got silver on it. I usually just put them all into a big bag. And usually I'll stick those into somebody's box. If somebody purchases one of my scrap boxes, I usually toss it in. I've got one more of these fire boxes as well. It's an electrical box, and it's just the right size for lithium-ion batteries, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of laptops tomorrow. So I want to make sure I have a place to put those. Don't keep them in the house, guys. They're awful dangerous. I usually use a metal trash can to store lithium-ion batteries. I like to get them out as quick as I can. But the transfer station won't be open tomorrow, and I'm sure, based on the weather report, it won't be open for the next 2 or 3 days either. I don't know where this came from. This is a capacitor of some type. That'll be good for some silver recovery. So those are all things you want to save. But eventually you get enough. If you don't want to do the gold and silver refining, there's plenty of people here on TikTok who do so. And I've actually been looking a little bit at silver refining. I just don't know that I want to get into another whole set of projects. It's been a very busy year here for me. Not a bad year, just really super busy. My house was under construction and this, that, and the other thing, and I don't know that it's the time to learn a new hobby. I think what I'm going to do is just get all of my e-scrap cleaned up and make a decision what I want to do with the e-scrap business. It's going very well, but it's messy. There's just garbage all over the place all the time, and I've just gotten the house fixed. I really don't want to list stuff over the house anymore. I think I'm probably going to just back down to hobby scrapping, which will be doing a couple of computers here and again and switches, just to, to keep the channel up and to keep teaching people. But I'm definitely burned out. I know I am. feel better when the summer comes around, you know? And I need a slotted screwdriver for this. I think the other thing too is I have to get all of the E-scrap back down to the basement. And hi Dave Donahue, I didn't even see you come in. How are you? But I do have a good sized basement in the house. I don't think I'm going to stop. I think I'm going to cut down. I'll probably focus on more specific things like, I like to do computers. I don't usually take TVs or microwaves. You know, I won't take those kind of things anymore. Or if I do, I'll give them away to somebody. I think it's just more of a, yeah, seriously, I know. No matter what we do, we waste collection center. Poor Ian Michaels, they give him such a hard time all the time. I think his channel is Man in the Shed. They give him such a hard time all the time on Scrapping Irish's live about his shed. But, you know. I think what it is you have to really have a dedicated workspace. You have to some place where you can lock the door and not look at the mess. You know? But yeah, we've just, like I said, we just got the basement back. Where we got flooded, it hit the basement and it poured down. It ruined the basement. I had an office and a workshop down there. That all got molded, but it's all been fixed. And you know, now the main level of the house has also just been finished. So it's really just a matter now of getting everything put back where it belongs and reorganizing, and then I think I feel a lot better about all of it. I don't know what's worse, packing it or unpacking it. And of course, this kitchen is nothing like the other kitchen was. So it's like, I don't know. I don't even know where anything is anymore. It's a completely different configuration. So I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put everything. I do a couple bucks a day. Hopefully Tuesday the guys are going to come and move my furniture from upstairs, and I'll get my living room back. I'm in the dining room right now. This room has all been painted. I put a new floor in, and it really feels good. Nice. I see a lot of new faces in the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Please don't forget to hit that like button. It's a big help to the channel. If you enjoy e-scrapping, learning about e-scrap, learning about how to grade boards and stuff, that's what we do here. Like I said, I do try and put boxes of e-scrap up for sale where I can. It's all about the shipping. I mean, even to, like, for me, it's basically it's a buck a pound to ship e-scrap. If you can fit a load into a priority mailbox, that really is the best value, and I try really hard to do that a lot. I'm going to be forced to straighten and organize the next 3 days because we're getting another 18 inches of snow. I hope they're wrong. I really do. It's like one of these storms that's coming up the coast. If it goes this way, we get it. If it goes this way, we don't. It's like, you know, it's right on the fringe. You should have seen the last storm we had. I couldn't put Big Red into the driveway because I had a big dumpster there from the construction guys. So I had him. It wasn't parked in the street, but it was parked on the grass between the street and my fence. They buried poor Big Red. And once I dug my way out and could get to the door, the door of the car, I could get the car doors open. I had the day. That beast of a truck just punched through the snow like nothing. That thing is an absolute beast. I have a Nissan Frontier, and love that truck. It's a little bit more than what I need. It's really built for off-roading and stuff, but at the time, they were having a 4th of July sale. My Jeep had died. I needed a truck right then and there, and they knocked off so much that I couldn't really walk away from it. And they gave me a good deal on the Jeep. Very nice. Is this a Cisco? This feels like a Cisco. Looks like a Cisco. Cisco usually makes a pretty good telecom product. So does Lucent. This is very nice. Very, very nice board here. Yeah, this is a Cisco. Alright. I don't know what the year is. I'll have to find it. It'll be stamped somewhere on the shell or on the case. We'll get the power supply out. Now, power supplies, I've revisited them a bit. I used to just take them. I used to cut the wires, and I would sell them to the yard as a power supply with no wires. They're paying like 6 cents a pound now, which is really ridiculously low. If I take the casing off, I can get 40 cents a pound as a low-grade board. I can get 50 cents a pound from my board buyer. I get like 40 cents up at, there's a yard up in Merida that'll pay pretty well for them. But also, and I think that's going to be a video for another day, inside of here is a lot of circuitry, a lot of capacitors, a lot of things that are good for silver recovery. So your power supplies can really become a great source of components that you might want to, you might want to consider grabbing. I think that'll be a video for another day, and there's certainly other videos of people doing that up on the channels, different channels. Okay, let's get at it. So lots of gold banded BGA chips here. That's a dusty little darling, ain't it? Huh? And this is a beautiful daughter card. I don't think there's going to be any problem with high-grade telecom on both of these. Let's get at it. I was at the transfer station one day, many moons ago. I don't know, it's probably throwing away computer shells or cases, or probably disposing of batteries, which is what I usually take to the transfer station. This guy pulls up in a dump trailer. When I tell you it was loaded with e-scrap, it was loaded with e-scrap. So I said, hey, can I give you a couple of bucks for that? Can I buy it for you? He said, I'll dump it right into your truck. You can have it. So I helped him unload, and he calls me now to come pick up scrap from him, which is really nice. I have it. He sells the boards to somebody else, and he's got a long-term. He must have a long-term contract with them. Even though as a board buyer here in Connecticut, I know I'm paying the best price on boards in the state. Wow. I gotta check on these as to what these actually are. I'm not gonna pull them because this is a board I'll put in one of my boxes that I put up for sale because I can ship it. It's a beautiful board, guys. All kinds of capacitors. There's gold here. I'm not sure what these are. They're not tantalums. 030 BJZ. I'm really not sure what they are. But what I am sure of is there's a lot of gold flashing here. My guess would be these would have silver recovery in them. They'll have gold in the pins, gold in the pins, gold in the pins. I would put this in with my high-grade peripheral boards. These are tantalum capacitors. They're good for silver recovery. And you've got a couple of chips. I am not sure what this is. I really am not. Some kind of telephone equipment. I'm not sure. But again, this is something I would put into one of my resale boxes. Problem with the board this size is they're a monster to ship. They're $1 a pound. Whoops. Come back here. Hi, Tom. Welcome in. How are you? Yeah, I got a feeling the airwaves are going to be busy as tomorrow. Everybody's going to be, at least in my part of the country, we're all going to be snowed in. Should have seen the grocery store. God, you'd think they were prepping for the second coming of the good Lord. Unbelievable. But I think Saturday is busy anyway, and then when you add in, we're going to get 18 inches of snow. I always always have oatmeal in the house. I always have ramen noodles. Like I don't eat them on a regular basis because they're really salty. I've always got cans of chicken broth. I can always throw a little pasta in there. Yeah, I always have some kind of emergency food. The only time I got caught without, I got sick. I got that 1 inch in Virginia. Good, I'll be right there. Hunting Jenny, I am in Connecticut. Probably about 200 miles south of Canada. But it's a coastal storm. It's coming up from like Florida and down south. So it's heading north. And, they don't use blizzard warning too often in Connecticut. Matter of fact, they said the last time they've issued a blizzard warning was 2013. I guess they're really worried about high winds and, power wires and stuff. Thank you very much. I have a lot of fun. Hunting Jenny says she loves my lives. You know why my lives are fun? Because I've got really awesome subscribers. Thank you very much, so I really appreciate that very, very much. I work at a semiconductor. I love watching people take equipment apart. On a side note to that, I've got 3 computers. They're in the car, so they're wrapped up that I picked up today. That actually probably work, but he wants to upgrade to Windows 11 and he can't. So if I can refresh them with Windows 10, I probably can sell those, and I have his permission to do so. I've already taken the hard drive apart for him. Actually, I'm going to try. I take that back. I didn't take it apart. I'm going to wipe it. I have a machine downstairs to wipe it, and so computers like that I'll resell for $25 or $30. It's a good computer for a kid to do his homework on, or an office. But if they need the speed and everything that Windows 11 has to offer, well, that's what happens. When you got a big office or a big, everybody else is on Windows 11, you got to be there too. And when they completely drop the support, it becomes a problem. I know Asus is having a problem right now with their German customer support. It's actually down. I guess they're in some kind of trouble with a patent infringement or something. I don't know. But it's all been shut down. So they're the people who have the Asus computers, they're just holding the bag. I was reading it about on Tom's Hardware last night. That's a really good website. Well, Tom's Hardware, and he talks about everything and anything going on in the computer world. Very, very, very good read. I enjoy reading his. Do I take them apart for gold and silver? I don't. Oh, that Haunting Jenny says I watch you all the time, and I remember when you cut your finger on the live. Do you know that was like my second live? I did. I took a piece of metal, got me right across here. I just picked up a bunch of things and I just kept going, but I finally had to stop the video because it really, I wound up getting 14 stitches and a scar. Always, you should wear gloves when you do any scrap. I know. My good friend Patrick lets me have it all the time. The company is forcing people to switch to Windows 11. That's true. They stopped supporting Windows 10. I think they extended it out a little bit, but I mean, I see I go and pick up entire offices. There's an office in Norwalk I'm supposed to go pick up on Monday. Hi, Dave Donahue. How are you? Yeah, that was something else. And they're like, just come get them. Come, we got to upgrade everything, and you can have these. Well, if I can get them to run, and a lot of those servers, they'll actually run Linux. So if you're not, needing to be super fast, you just need a basic data computer or server. I resell a lot of them to people who were able to do that. But I get everything in big lots now. They have to upgrade the whole kit and caboodle. All right, let's see. Beautiful board. Cisco really does do a nice job with their boards. So what's on the board? This is a gold-banded crystal oscillator. That's a gold-banded crystal oscillator. Again, now these I'm going to leave because I already know I'm going to sell it to my board buyer. And he's going to look for those. And my board buyer is very, very good to me. He really pays me a very good price, and he comes down and picks them up for me. The last thing I'd want to do is upset him. You know, he takes good care of me. So, but you know, if I was sent to get out to the yard or some such thing, yeah, I'd take all this off. These tantalum capacitors, or if I was selling it to somebody who was, you know, going to go after it for the gold components, those are the things they're going to want. So I don't want to take those off of this board, you know. So gold banded BGAs, 1, 2, 1. Dusty little bugger, huh? What else is on here? A lot of gold here, gold bonding wire, ceramics. This is just a really good board for somebody who does gold recovery. Now, somebody just asked, I could drive down and pick them up. I would have fainted. Hunting Jenny said she would have fainted when I just kept going. You know, I was a school teacher for years, so you didn't get a chance to just stop. You could try, Tom. I must have missed something you said. I could drive down and pick them up. What was it you were speaking of? I didn't see it. Maybe send. You know what? Maybe send me a DM, huh? I picked up. So with my telecom company, I got a bunch of I got a bunch of battery backups. Those things are just so beastly heavy. They're in the back of the truck. I was hoping my board buyer was going to come and take them from me, but he of course, the weather's going to hold us all up, so I got to get those out of the truck tomorrow somehow. And then I picked up a bunch of office phones. Back when I first started, one of the first things we did, and maybe some of you guys remember, you live close to me. I think we've had this. Why do we think we've had that conversation before? Tom, send me a DM so I just refresh my memory, huh? Hi, Patrick. Back at you. What was I talking about? Oh, so I was talking about the telecom company that I had met at the local transfer station. So I go and I take a lot, you know, I help them out with, I take a lot of the things that, like this. They're not going to scrap this out. They do scrap out a lot of their own telecom equipment, so I don't always get the good telecom boards from them that I would hope to get. And I keep telling them, I know I'm going to pay better than what your other person does. But you know, when you've been doing business with the same person a long time, you don't want to say, oh, hey, sorry, Charlie, I got somebody else. That's bad form. But what I sometimes do is, like when they're working somewhere, it's only a 2 or 3 person shop. It's a big business, but it's a small shop. They install telephone lines to hospitals, offices, schools, things like that. I got to figure out how. You know, Patrick, I really have to look at how to do that. I thought I had done it. I may have said it, and I may have said it very low. I've got my nephew is really good at that stuff. I'm gonna have to get him to show me how to do it. He did it for me the other day. And it was okay in the last 2 lives, and then it went to, you know. Anywho, so the telephones were one of the first things that we did. I had gotten, and that was from the telecom guy that I ran into at the trailer. He literally took a dump trailer and dumped it into the back of my pickup truck. But the phone boards, they were great. They were older phones. They were from a company called Executone. They were from 1987, and that was when I first started reselling e-scrap. That was what I did. I filled up boxes, and they had a lot of circuits on them. So I think those are going to be really good for gold and silver recovery, because those boxes sold, and they sold really fast, and everybody was really pleased with them. See, the phone circuit boards were only this big. I could fill a box. I can't put something like this in a box. I have to drive this up to the buyer. I mean, I could if somebody's willing to pay the cost for it, yeah, or drive down and pick it up, yeah, of course. But where do I get my energy? I drink a lot of coffee. No, I have a nice balance. I usually do my lives early in the morning because we kind of have a set we have what we call our gold family, and it's a nice community of people. And by the way, and don't feel that you can't join us, you can. But we've all been kind of hanging out for a year. You know, we watch each other's channels, we support each other's lives, and we certainly learn from each other. But I go on usually early, and then Scrapaholic goes on, and then Southern Scrapper goes on. My usual live is Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. That depends on what we get for a storm. I try to get on during the week when I can, I really do. But I'll get up in the morning, I'll do my live, and then I'll go out and I'll do my school runs. I have a band instrument rental service. I'll go out and get my school runs done and go get the kids, you know, anybody's broken an instrument or needs something switched or fixed or whatever. And then sometimes I'll go out to lunch once or twice a week. I don't like to eat out a lot. I actually really like to cook at home. Come home and I'll cook, make myself a nice lunch, nice dinner, whatever. Get my e-scrap packed up, get my shipping done. You know, I'm pretty much done for the day. Around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm usually home for the night. So, you know, it's balanced. And whoever just said it's a great cure for loneliness, you aren't kidding. TikTok has been wonderful for me over the past couple of years. And I don't know how I would have gotten through the past couple of years without my friends from TikTok. It really, wonderful community. And you know, it's fun. It's fun, chatting and socializing, saying hi to each other in the chats and this, that, and the other thing. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of, I would watch the price of copper this week. It did drop last week, so did silver and gold. I have a feeling because of all the tariff nonsense, not that I want to say a bad word, I don't. A nice stew keeps you going. A nice stew keeps you going. Yes, Patrick, I have the ingredients. We're going to make a great big pot of Grandma Brady's Irish stew tomorrow. I make that every 2 weeks. I make a nice big pot of it. I don't care for it as much warmed over, but I'm here alone, so I put it in the freezer. I think I'm actually going to make, I've got a really nice little convection bake oven. I'm going to try making some sourdough bread and putting it in there. I love making soup. I have 2 neighbors who are elderly, and I always bring them over so when they make homemade soup. Nice people. Anyway, so yeah, it started off as a hobby, believe it or not, and then it just grew into this whole thing with a channel and chatting with great people, and you know, a lot of people were all regulars on each other's channel, and you know, we kind of check in on each other, and I think it's a lot of fun. And yeah. My 2 nephews got me into this, William and Matthew. I had started on the other social media platform, the Tube of You, and I started doing instructional videos about e-scrap. And it was going okay, you know. But the boys came over one day, Auntie D, if you want to do something, you have got to, the boys, they're in their 30s or young adults, if you want to do something, you've got to go on, I said, why would I go on TikTok? I'm 66 years old. I'm going to go on TikTok where all the kids hang out? No, I'm not. No, Auntie, it's not like that. Yes, it is. No, yeah. Well, here, I have a broken Nintendo, and I need you to get the game out of it, so I want you to take it apart live on TikTok, and we're going to record you. I'm like, what are you, out of your cotton-picking mind? So that's what they did. He gives me this Game Boy, which I did, by the way, take apart. I got his, he said, just don't break my game. And the 2 of them started me on this TikTok journey. And God bless them, because I mean, I don't even know what I'm up to now for subscribers. It's a lot, and it's a lot of fix. Yes, I am. I hide it well, don't I, Tom? I do not feel my age. I don't feel my age at all. As a matter of fact, now that we got rid of the mold in the house, I feel really good. I feel very well. You know, I like to swim in the summer. I like to go outside. I like to ride my bicycle. I have adult nieces and nephews who are my absolute world. Love hanging out with them. Just got back from lunch with my niece, as a matter of fact. And my other nephew has 3 gorgeous little girls. And life is good. All right. This This was much more cooperative than that beast from yesterday. Hey, give me 1 second, because here it is. This was my father's. My father loved to paint. My father was an amazing artist. He painted a couple of pictures. They're actually probably worth a bit of money, but because they were considered like folk art, and I've had offers on them, and I refuse. I will never sell those. Those are my dad's. All right. So Scrooge McDuckin says these are very gold filled. I don't know what he called them. It was on 2 or 3 videos ago. They could be gold oscillators as opposed to gold banded. I really don't remember what he said they were, but he said there is more gold in one of these than there is in a ceramic CPU chip. So if Scrooge McDuckin said it, I believe it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask him about that. But that man, he takes these things apart and he examines every darn component to show us all where the gold is. And I never took these off before. Now again, this is going to my board buyer, who I respect and like, so I'm not going to take anything off. If it was going, to a scrapyard or something, yeah, I'd be nipping like crazy. I would take this gold banded crystal oscillator. I'd take this one. These gold fingers are really not worth cutting off. They're really more tin. They're older, and that's not worth. You degrade it too much. Your board buyer, and myself included, they're going to downgrade your board. You don't want that, huh? All right. And again, we talked about this. These are gold banded BGA, gold cornered BGA's bald gold array, I believe is what it stands for. These are highly desirable. A little bit of heat and you can knock these off. I've seen so many scrappers, they put the whole thing to like an old toaster oven. The scrapaholic just takes them, heats them up, and knocks them all off. But they go after the gold recovery. And again, this is just that's not for me. I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing. All right, I probably already said it. Now, what would you grade this board as, based on what I've been telling you over the past couple videos? Do 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 dee 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 dee. What kind of board do you guys think it is? 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You're right, Moyer. 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a high-grade telecom board. Why? Because everybody just said, Tom, I think you said so as well. Patrick, you're right. Why is it a high-grade telecom? Well, there's not... Now, let me just backpedal a little bit. They're a little more lenient on Cisco boards because Cisco's boards are always full of gold here. A lot of times they would consider this junk if it was low-grade, but they won't with Cisco because Cisco puts a lot of gold into their phone jacks. This is a high-grade telecom because it's smothered in chips. Anybody up for some nachos? No, they went. I'm going to go high on this one, Haunting Jenny, and I'll tell you why. Even though this is rubbish and this is rubbish, there is good gold recovery here and here. This board is very densely populated. It's got tantalums. It's got gold bandeds. It's got ceramics. This is a very good board for a buyer. That board probably weighs 3 or 4 pounds, and right now telecom, I believe, is $10.50 a pound at board stores. So that's a $30 board, guys. Less about $1 a pound for shipping. So that's a nice board. If I can get a good enough load up to get Matt to come down and pick it up, I will. But we'll see. Like I said, right now I'm just really focusing on switches and telecom and the iCore boards are very low grade, and I've got hundreds of iCore boards to do out there. See if I can get one more in before my hour is up, huh? And by the way, guys, thank you so much for all your kind words. Tom wants to know board sorter manual. It was a good guess. That was a matter of fact, it was a great guess. It was fine. No, I encourage it. The teacher wants to see if the students are paying attention. July 25th, 2008. Older the golder, newer the viewer. Hey, Patrick got a #1 viewer badge. Bravo, Patrick. You sound much better. You don't sound like you sound like you've gotten over your cold. You sounded pretty good on your live. Guys, if you're into micro scrapping and you want to find the gold and the brass and the copper, do check out Patrick Williams. I know a lot of you are already subscribed to his channel. If you're looking for micro scrapping, he is the master of micro scrap. And a nice guy too. Patrick, what did you decide to do about the printer? Or are you waiting for tomorrow's weather? I don't know who asked the question. Tom Boo, I think it was you. I think his question was, you're going to sell it to a board sorter, you're going to manually extract the gold. I'm going to sell it. I don't gold refine. I don't think I'm going to. If I do, it's something I would undertake in the summer when I'm outside. I am having a new shed built. I'm going to see if they can rebuild the shed my dad built. My nephew and his brother rebuilt it for me about 10 years ago. But it's really fun. It's really decrepit. I'm afraid to go in there. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock, weather permitting. Now, what time is it in Ireland right now, Patrick? Just so I can get a ballpark on the and help these guys with the time. Because right now it is it's 5:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what is it, about 10:39 p.m. in the evening? So you guys are about 6 hours ahead of us. So if it's 12 o'clock, it's going to be 6 o'clock in the morning, buddy. I love you to the moon and back. I ain't getting up at 6 o'clock to watch your live. He upload. A lot of us, we'll put our lives up, and then we'll upload them too. I do that when a lot of times, somebody is on who I like and respect, and I don't want to try to avoid going on when my friends are on. So I'll just post a video. This is another Cisco. Boy, I'd be really happy if I could get a box of these ready. I can go to FedEx on Monday. Yeah, but the Scrappin' Irish is on. Well, he's on at 3 our time. Well, TikTok will let me know when you're on. If you subscribe to somebody's channel, guys, and it's a creator that you like, do make sure to subscribe to their channel, because and so make sure you tap the notifications so that it lets you know when your favorite content creator has gone live. We got some good ones, I'll tell you. I learned a lot from other content creators before I even started doing this. Shark Scrapper was a big help. And even if you're new to board grading, Board Sort is very, very good. They have a great series of videos about how to grade the boards. And, I just really wonder how much longer we're going to be able to get these really good boards from, once everybody upgrades. Anything prior to like 2020 is usually pretty good for gold recovery. These iCore boards, they're really crapple. Boy, do you know what they're? Tom was saying that Tombo was saying he sold some RAM to Board Sort over the summer. Do you know what they're paying for RAM right now? They're like $60 a pound right now for RAM. And I think over the summer it would have been somewhere around $35, $40 a pound. I'm gonna have to ship some out on Monday, whether I like it or not. I had a couple 100 pounds of RAM down in the basement. I'm waiting to see if the price goes back up any, because I really do think the commodities market is going to really go bonkers tomorrow, or Monday rather. See, the problem here is we have to import a lot of this stuff, and now they're charging import fees on everything. And I think what it's going to do, it's going to drive up the price for aluminum and copper, recycled material, to try to keep supply and demand going. And you know, we all have to kind of stand by and wait and see. Okay, so let me see if I can get at this. I'm not really going to mess with this right now, but power supplies are really good. You send your mixed wires in. Yes, I do. I cut off the gold connector ends, like on the SATA connectors. I sell those separately, and I don't. The wires I take to the scrapyard. I've got a lot of, maybe I'll send that in, and maybe I'll send that in on Monday instead of selling the RAM. I've got a lot of non-ferrous to go in. Aluminums are pretty good, steady cash supply. There's going to continue to be a need for recycled aluminum, that I do know. See, I think the connector ends off of here. It's just low-grade wire. I don't strip wire, I don't do all that. So, these can be a really good source for some of your capacitors and such. Again, now I do have a big bucket of these going, where I'm going to fill it up with capacitors. Recently, trying to think who it was, $3 a kilo. Aluminum is $1.30 a kilo in Ireland. It's down a little bit from last week, isn't it? I know here it took a bit of a downturn. MOSFETs are copper. The legs are copper. The MOSFET itself is copper. This is aluminum, but the MOSFET here, there was also, and again, I think it might have been Trinity Gold Recovery, he got silver and gold out of MOSFETs. I had never seen that before. I knew there was copper. So I would say don't discount the MOSFETs, but I would also say that it's something I want to check up a little bit more on before I say it. So I've got to go do me homework, said the teacher. All right, but look at all these M&Ms. These are great for silver recovery. Save them up. You can send them to somebody who does refining. You can learn how to do it yourself safely. It's very dangerous, so make sure you study. Of course, you got your copper, and you got plenty of aluminum. So, these are things, these I would nip off, because I'm going to sell this to the yard anyway, as a low-grade board for 40 cents a pound. But yeah, if you can get these guys out, yeah, that's clean aluminum, that's aluminum, and all these things here are precious metal recovery. So, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, huh? Bye-bye, baby. Okay, I'm going to finish this one up, and that's going to take me out to my hour, I think. Yeah, Cisco makes really, really fine telecom equipment. When they print the green circuit board, it's just printed out as a green board. Then it goes from being a green board, they add the circuits to it. But it comes out blank when they make them all. And it's up to the, it's up to the needs of the customer. Then they configure the board to those needs. So not every board is a nice, juicy, yum yum. Hey, Scrooge McDuckin, how are you? Oh, you're just the man I wanted to hear from. Wait a minute, I want to ask you what you said about something the other day, because I couldn't remember. These guys right here, Scrooge, what are these called? And I know you said they were very high in gold recovery. I remember specifically asking you, and you said that they were very, very high in gold recovery, that it was even better than a ceramic CPU. Was this what you were speaking of, and what are those? If you'd be so kind. So that's a gold band oscillator as opposed to silver banded crystal oscillators? Okay, got it. That's what I thought, and that was what I said, but I don't want to get misinformation. So there's a difference between the gold oscillators and the silver oscillator. Okay. So my next question is there a difference between that? Oops, there's my hour. Hold on a minute, guys. My verification thing just came up. Hold on. Dadgummit. Come on, guys. Every time I mess this up, you know, it kicks me off. So is there a difference between that and these? Whoops. Or is it just a different, is it just a different thing? I actually get them off with a little bit of heat and, wait, what did I get? Is it contagious? So there's a difference between the gold and the silver banded crystal oscillator. Okay, thanks, buddy. So what I mean, guys, you really can learn a lot from your fellow TikTokers. So now I've gone over an hour, so what I'll do is I'll post this on my Tube of You channel so that you guys could go back and refer to it, further the information that's here. This one probably would go as I would go low-grade telecom. I take that back. I'll show you why. Let's see if I can get this board off. You know, your board buyer isn't going to beat you up if you're off a little bit. There's something down here that just caught my eye, and I'll show you why. I'll show you why I think I could get high grade for it. First of all, there's not a lot of dead or wasted space. But here, look at that gold. Drool, drool. That is beautiful gold right here. And in this case, yes, I'm going to take that. And because I'm going to take it, I'm going to sell it as a low-grade telecom board. I'm not going to take the BGA. Now you bet your bippies I'm going to go after these guys right here. Absolutely. That is beautiful, beautiful gold. That would be throwing money into the trash can. All right, are you going on tonight, Scrooge? He might have already left. He went to go warm up the shop. Sometimes he comes in and visits me before he goes off on his live. So with that said, there's another gold banded oscillator, gold oscillator. Those I'm going to take, and then I'll turn this in instead of a high grade telecom. I'll take my risk. I'll take my licks on that one. I'll get these off. I'll get that off, and I'll turn it into a low grade telecom instead of a high grade telecom. This gold is too good. That is just too good to pass up. Even though I don't gold refine, when I save up enough, I'll send some to somebody who does. All right, guys. I got a feeling Scrooge is probably going to go on in just a little bit. He usually goes on around 6 o'clock. I usually manage to jump in just before him. And I'm going to go make myself a cup of hot chocolate with a shot of Bailey's. I've discovered a new vice. You can thank you, Patrick. Patrick says Scrooge McDuckin will be on shortly. Guys, if you don't know who Scrooge McDuckin is, he is I learned a lot about what's in these things from him. Really a very fine content creator. I don't know if he's having a duck race tonight, but those are always fun too. Scrooge's lives are a lot of fun. My new vice is hot chocolate with whipped cream drizzled with mudslide and a shot of Bailey's. Isn't it yummy sounding? I love Bailey's. They didn't have any Bailey's left. I had to get Carolina, which is not bad, but I was so cold. I was looking for something toasty and warm, and I really didn't feel like beer. So this is warming me cuckles. I'm gonna go get another one. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for the gift of your time. It was really a wonderful, wonderful session. Very enjoyable. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And good Lord willing, I'll see you in the morning. Yes, Irish Bailey's it is, my friend Patrick. Really good for what ails you. But nothing's ailing me, so it's just going to have to do well tonight. Yeah. Thanks for the gift of your time, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. And that was a really wonderful live. Very, very interactive, very nice. And don't forget to hit the Catch Me Live report and notifications and all that good stuff. And do go check out Scrooge McDuckin at 6 o'clock. God bless you all and keep you well. And hopefully I'll see you in the morning. Just depends on the weather around here. If we get 18 inches of snow, I'm either going to be on live all day because I can't get out of the house, or I'll be out dealing with the snow. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.